We got our commissioner with the Eagles in the background. Big week coming up for the boys.
You on a bye week.
That's why it was a big week. You guys have no chance of losing. Congratulations. Stand.
It was the strangest thing.
You won and I lost. Let's move on.
I think I won on Saturday night, but yeah, we'll move on. Yeah, so for my team this week,
ladies and gentlemen, it must be getting cold because our man Joe is wearing a jacket. Welcome to week 10 within the Indecision Cave. Joe, how you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling hopeful. For context, with that, I jump right into it. You're supposed to say hi to everybody. No, I'm jumping right into it. How I'm doing? I'm feeling hopeful because I traded my first round pick, my second round pick, my fourth, my fifth, and maybe even another, but still somehow I might win a game today. So I'm feeling hopeful.
Yeah, no, we definitely had Eugene and you talking that talk last week, and everybody let Eugene know that if somehow he loses his matchup this week, it would be bad news bears. We're going to come back to you after we say hi to the rest of our teammates. If you want to know how you're even making this happen, you're a magician, it seems. Justin, it looks like 42 wins is on the horizon, am I right?
Absolutely. That was never a question this week. I'm just worried about next week. I got to replace the light-skinned guys, so I'm going to be deep into the waiver wires this week.
If you don't mind sharing, who is the light-skinned god?
Oh, Mr. 500 mil, baby, Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs on a bye week, so, got to hold it down till they get back.
There you go. Week 10, trying to find a W without Pat Mahomes will surely be interesting. Antoine, if you're watching, Justin's been talking junk since last week and just led off by saying it was not even going to be a question this week. Maybe you don't have a squad, my brother. Ashton, how you holding up in week 9, man?
We're going to talk about next week, and Deli comes to Wednesday to go play the Chubb. So Deli going to play himself a little bit, but we're going to see how that plays out. We rocking, we jiving. Jeff about to have 42 wins. His quarterback is 43. They can't get a win against the NO. It's a big no. You hear me?
So let's go around the horn real quick. Justin, I mean, you hit us with a little tease. We know you're taking care of Antoine, but what happened? What's the score looking like? Who played well? Who didn't?
It was the usual suspects. Patrick Mahomes, he did his thing. Alvin Kamara, he put up close to his usual numbers, so I wasn't worried about that. That guy, James Robinson, is just so consistent once again. And my new acquisition, that boy Terry, is kind of scary, man. So usual numbers from my usual guys. So it's business as usual this week.
It's 15.9 points, like usual for Alvin Kamara. I feel like he's like a 20-plus guy, but I digress. I mean, It's good for fantasy running back, but that ain't his usual.
Yeah, he did close to his usual, but it wasn't really. I didn't really need a breakout performance from him. So.
Yeah, and that was the classic. The classic case of not needing to use certain players when the game's out of hand, as the Saints steamrolled Justin's real squad, the Bucks. Looked ugly. I saw a stat this morning that said this is the first time in Tom Brady's career, maybe, that he got swept by a divisional opponent. As in his whole reign in the AFC East, he never lost to the Bills, Jets. He might have even had years with the Colts in there before they adjusted the divisions, maybe. So no Bills, no Jets, no Dolphins, maybe no Colts. Never got swept by any of the AFC East teams. And Drew Brees and our boy Jared Pete kicks his cousin down the can. Joe, how are you making this happen, my man? Week 9, it was supposed to be blowout city. Eugene's team needing a big win to keep their playoff hopes alive. You having traded everyone and everything. What's going on out there?
Real quick, I said it before, but props to you. I'm not sure if you're the originator of the idea, but you are definitely the manager of our records that we keep, since we all have joined the league. And that makes us accountable, to how good or not good we are. and I take pride in anything that I do. And if I'm going to tank, I still want something that's worth some respect. And I didn't want to be a total laughing stock. Sure, I could pawn off Robert Woods or somebody, but I still want to be competitive. And part of the reason is you are keeping record of how we do each and every season. I didn't expect to win this soon. I thought maybe the only way I would win is if there were more catastrophic injuries in the league, because who I might be winning with right now is pretty impressive. But I think DJ Chark, he carried me, man. And this is the first week where he really did something. He was my 3rd round pick. I actually picked him over Terry McLaurin and Will Fuller. I probably had that in the wrong order in drafting wide receivers, but he carried my team. And if the Patriots, if they score 4 or 5 points, I win without having, again, my 1st round pick, my 2nd round pick, 4th round pick, 5th round pick, because some of the owners are here right now. But look, we're pulling it out, I think.
Yeah. It seems like you can make it happen, and we throw shade on your name because you're who you are, but your fantasy prowess is definitely.
What does that mean? Because of who I am.
Because you're going to be out there making trades. You're going to offer some shady moves. Everybody knows who you are. You're Trader Joe, bro. From the very first episode, we had Mo on here. Everybody knew it was lean to the left, and both of you guys are like, okay, let's pretend it's not an off trade. We all know what it was. But Joe, you got the 4th most wins in league history, right? And so you're definitely a competitor year in and year out. So I'm glad you didn't want to really tank. And Eugene, for what it's worth, among all owners that are still active in the league, is in 2nd to last place with a 40% win percentage and 24 career victories in what is our 6th season. So you found a way to get it done, man, with a few more points from your defense, and that's truly admirable. And you deserve a quick round.
Damn.
Ashton, we're going to make this quick, man. The producer's telling us we got to keep it moving, so let's make it quick. How'd you do in your matchup this week?
The better question is how did you do?
Damn. That's what the producer didn't want me to talk about. This is your time to shine, man. What's going on? How'd you do?
Well, we did what we was meant to do, and that's win. It also helps that our competitors played a putrid game and arguably had the 2nd worst combined total of a team in league history. So, we're kind of grateful for where we are, what we've been doing. Dalvin Cook continues to cook. Russell Wilson, from an actual game perspective, didn't play well, but he definitely did me justice as a quarterback. Will Fuller, my newly acquired receiver, did his thing. So I started off really nervous because Brandon Cook started off the game with like a 50-yard touchdown. I'm like, this is the type of day I'm about to have. But Tom Brady did you dirty. And that's really all I got to say is Tom Brady and Le'Veon Bell did you dirty. You might see Tom Brady in our Dud of the Week awards this coming week. I don't know yet, but it's looking like it.
Ryan, when do you wave the flag for these Chiefs running backs?
I don't think I wave it for CEH.
Okay.
But Le'Veon Bell, I think it's getting close. But with that being said, like Le'Veon Bell's in the starting lineup this week because my Ashton beat me no matter what. I'm not making any issue about that. But when my 2 starting wide receivers are in the lineup, Le'Veon Bell can go back to the bench. So this was a matter of Tyler Boyd, who's having a really good year, being on a bye week, and then Calvin Ridley, who's having an awesome year, being injured. And so not saying that would have made a difference. I lost by about 50 points, right? So they would have had to like really go above and beyond to even make it competitive. But like Le'Veon Bell's not in the lineup in that situation. So when it comes to the Chiefs running backs, like CH is still going to end up getting his numbers, I think.
Yeah.
Lev Bell got to go. And it stinks because I got a few offers for Le'Veon Bell, and ended up sticking around and waiting too long, which is unfortunate, right? But like, you win.
There still might be someone out there who believes. I'm gonna say whatever I have to say to see if I can get a Ryan trade. That's what the league wants to see, a Ryan trade.
I mean, for what it's worth, I have been involved in deals before.
What year was that?
A few years ago, I traded Amir Abdullah for Phillip Rivers straight up. That was a good deal.
So a bottom dweller trade at that.
Phillip Rivers was not a bottom dweller.
Amir Abdullah sounds like it.
So then why did the other person accept that trade?
Oh, well, I didn't know who the recipient was, but
and
come
then
on.
There was
a couple years ago.
There was a year where I got Megatron and Muscle Hamster, and I traded. That was a good year. I gave up my defense and like my number one wide receiver, so that was good. Oh, actually, last year I traded with Fitz.
What was that?
It was Emmanuel Sanders for David Montgomery, straight up.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Fitz of up. Oh yeah, I remember. We were like, right. Yeah, okay. Let's get one of those.
Yeah.
It's time. It's time, Ryan. You about to be 4-5? Do you believe in this team?
This team is definitely scary, man. Because
stop, bro. You still got two really good receivers that you just didn't play this week, and that's honestly what did you win. To be very honest.
And
there you have it.
Calvin Ridley's a number. He's number 3 at the position, and Tyler Boyd is no joke. I joke around a lot, but like if you had your two best receivers, it would have been a different game. But if you had your two best receivers, and now I've also had Cooper Kupp and T. Higgins. So I mean, who knows? But your team isn't bad.
No, I don't. I wasn't. He said, "Do I have hope?" This team definitely scares me, right? This team scares me.
I mean, I think what happened is you just, you overachieved with your team. They've just been tired ever since.
Wow. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, put up numbers that I've never seen before, and then these last 2 weeks have been really, really bad. So we'll figure it out, though. We got plenty of time to right the ship, and I think at 7-6 we can make the playoffs. So we just gotta go 3-1 for the rest of the year, and we should be good. And we can do that. We can definitely do that. Thanks for the question, Joe. Ashton, any more remarks in regards to our matchup of the week? Which, by the way, I'm now 0-3 against the hosts of this show in the matchups of the week. So that's not good. The fact that I'm in 3 of them, terrible.
Wait. You've been on the match of the week with every single one of us and have lost every single one of them. I just thought about that. I didn't even dang, bro, you can't catch a dub.
No, so just so that the viewers at home, I know they're tuning in, they're paying attention. We do matchups of the week. Like I put like a little matchup of the week thing, 3 matchups on our league message board. And sometimes the best matchup of the week doesn't show up on the show. And so when I faced Justin, that was not the matchup of the – no, I think it was when I faced Joe. That was not the matchup of the week. He was like 1-4 at that point or something stupid. Like I was like 3-2.
He didn't have a win. Remember, his one win is you.
Oh, well, yeah. So he was like 0-4 and I was like 2-2. And so like, that's not matchup of the week.
Yeah, that's not primetime football at all.
But we couldn't make it happen. And so like, you guys wouldn't even know about these losses if it wasn't for some people not being able to show up. But yes, alas, I am 0-3 against my league mates and fellow hosts. So with that being said, we're going to take a commercial break, folks, because I need to calm down. When we get back, we're going to hit you with the waiver wires to get you ready for your Week 10 matchup within the Indecision Cave. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our Week 10 edition of the Indecision Cave Show. We're going to go around the horn and hit you with some waiver wire prospects who could make your team a little bit better as we head into this week's matchups. We're going to go with Justin first. So, Justin, who are you picking up off the waiver wire to get your team right with Patrick Mahomes on the bye week?
So my waiver wire pick this week is going to be Drew Lock for the quarterback for the Denver Broncos. They're going to be playing a division rival, the Las Vegas Raiders. I like the matchup because the Raiders they're not too good on their secondary in terms of stopping quarterbacks. And I think Drew finally figured out that Jerry Jeudy is the number one pick and he should start getting the ball more. So he had a good outing yesterday. I think this week Drew put up about 26 fantasy points in our league. So I'm looking to see something similar to that performance next week against a defense that's not really too strong. So Drew Lock, grab him if you got Patrick on a bye week.
There you go. I'm going to hop in right now and do the flip side of that matchup. I'm going to go with someone who's on the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's Ashton and Joe's old boy, wide receiver Nelson Algholor. In week 9, he only caught 2 passes for 55 yards, but one was for a touchdown. It was a nice deep ball, 45-yard score. And what I like about him is that in his last 5 games, he scored 4 touchdowns, or he scored a touchdown in 4 of his last 5 games, rather. And he's playing the Broncos. The Broncos are okay. They're not putting that kind of crazy pressure on the quarterback that we're used to. I think there's some holes in the defense, and until the Raiders are at full form, I think he's probably their number 2, maybe their number 1. So that's always someone you want on your squad. So Derek Carr's having a really good year, and I'm getting the guy who he's been targeting lately, and I'm going with Nelson Algholor.
Just a little fun fact for you. He did horrible last week, but it was solely due to weather.
There you go. And so that might have been 4 touchdowns in 4 games if we take away the weather. Ashton, we're going to stick with you simply because you're an Eagles fan and we're talking Eagles old guys. So who are you picking up off the waiver wire this week?
Well, I wish the Eagles at the trade deadline went and tried to go pick up this player. Coming into training camp, you heard buzz about him being out of shape, not being good, not looking like he's going to be involved in their offense. And we've seen the exact opposite the past 3 weeks. This particular individual is rostered in 20% of leagues, probably for good reason. But after the past 3 weeks, shame on me once, shame on me twice. I'm bugging if I keep just letting it go by. So whoever is the actual owner in our league, they need to stop benching him because he's balling on their bench. But outside of that, I'm building up to it, right? Week 7 against the New Orleans Saints, he had 17 points. Week 8 against the Falcons, he had 21 points. Week 9 against the Kansas City Chiefs, he had 26.8 points. So if you're a fan of this team and know these last 3 opponents, you know I'm talking about Curtis Samuels out of the Carolina Panthers. He's balling. He's doing everything for them, not just from a receiving standpoint, but a rushing standpoint as well, as I believe he's had in the past 3 weeks 2 rushing touchdowns. He's also had receiving touchdowns. So the man is balling. He's just doing everything for that team. And with Christian McCaffrey possibly being hurt again, you might see him once again lining up in the backfield as a receiver. So he's a Swiss Army knife. So if he's out there, try to go grab him. Putting in a light, proceed with caution, but he's been balling. So
there it is. And ladies and gentlemen, as you may or may not know, Ashton is the best waiver wire picker of the 4 of us so far this season. We've been keeping track of that stat, and Ashton paces the group with the best percentage of wins among the 4 of us. So if Curtis Samuel is available, and whoever Ashton says moving forward is the gospel, so let's make sure we pay attention to what he has to say. Joe, we're going to round it out, man. Who are you looking at for week 10 off the waiver wire?
Matt Breida. Matt Breida is essentially 29% owned. With Myles Gaskin, he went on the IR for, I think the minimum is 3 weeks now. A week has passed. So you might be able to get a starting running back for 2+ weeks. And we've seen that the Dolphins, you know, when they switch quarterbacks, they're still a good offense. They scored, I believe, 34 points this past weekend with Tua. So he may not be, your home run running back, but if you're hurting at running back and you need a plug and play, and I think when it comes to Breida, he is a speedy guy. He can take it to the house in the blink of an eye. So he has somewhat, upside. He may not have a stronghold on that backfield because they're probably throwing some Jordan Howard, especially if they're near the goal line. But I could see a range between 9 and 13 points for the next 2+ weeks. Not bad. So Matt Breida, running back for the Dolphins.
There you go. Perfect. And so we went around the horn. Ashton.
Yo, yeah, I mean, thank you for coming back to me because I have one extra. So I'm gonna throw an extra waiver wire pickup. So for anyone who has Patrick Mahomes, let's not forget about Tua Tagovailoa, man. That dude is looking real good. I mean, his first start, he didn't look too well. Everyone was questioning like 5 points, but they were up. He didn't really have to do too much. You could game script to be a very conservative game, but this past week against Arizona, man, like his actual full game, being able to show you what he can do, he looked good, and he gave you 21.4 points if you started him. His next matchups are the Chargers. They tend to lose to everyone, and the opposite quarterback tends to go off. Then he plays Denver, and then he plays the Jets. So,
Yeah. No, I think that's a great one to hit on. Tua's going to be special, guys. I am all in on him. I've been quoted as saying he was going to be the best quarterback from the class. Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert have been playing so well that it looks crazy, especially after that week 1 performance, right? Like they just came in and right away looked very poised, and then last week Tua looked a little off. But I think that guy's nasty, and so maybe I don't know what fantasy numbers will look like. He's got a little bit of running ability, but he could throw the deep ball with such touch. And he just he moves the pocket, man. He's going to be so good. We saw him on the run yesterday, make a throw a touchdown. So he's strong. And I hope he just kills it and succeeds.
that'll be my waiver wire pickup next week. So don't even worry about my pick next week because that's who it will be.
There you go. There you go.
I also throw in again. I mentioned him before. Jalen Reagor, wide receiver, first-round pick, wide receiver from the Eagles. We haven't seen him much. He's only played 3 games. In this last game, he caught the ball 3 times for only 16 yards, but he got a touchdown. But the offense struggled just as a whole that game, and they get a bye week, so he gets more time to get back in game shape because he was out for a while, and start getting some chemistry with Carson Wentz. Now, I think Carson Wentz, we kind of know who he is, but one of the things he definitely is, I don't think anyone can deny this, is he tries to be a playmaker. So he holds on to the ball too long. But this is who he's going to be holding the ball for. This is the speedster guy. He what do they call it? What did they say? Take the rim off the whatever. That one.
Up off the defense.
Right. So he's that guy. He could be the next. Well, I don't want to say that, but he has the potential to be a Deshaun Jackson, because that's how fast he is. I wouldn't spend too much of your fab on him, but he's being slept on right now. 14% owned, so basically free. So just keep him in your back pocket. He could be someone who could be like a Malcolm Brown last year. So keep an eye out.
Is he the 3rd fastest receiver on our team?
Oh, you talking about 40-yard dash wise? Possibly, but his burst speed is faster than them. I know there's a number of ways to cover speed, and how fast you get to your top speed is also a factor.
For all those who don't know, I'm referring to Deshaun Jackson and Marquise Goodwin, who is not playing for us right now because he got out for COVID.
And Deshaun is also 33 years old or something.
Yeah.
But they're all super fast. You guys definitely can take the top off the defense. Just
when they're healthy.
Yeah, just need Carson a little less turnover prone, man. Just a little bit.
Hey, Ryan, real fast, because me and Joe, our teams ain't play this week. Justin's quarterback, and Justin's below me, but I think on like the thing he's to my this way, whatever way. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers, man, And Devontae Adams, like, I just want to know your thoughts. Like, he said he's the best receiver in the NFL. We all favor Julio Jones from just he's that good. But from a strictly just stats, is he the best receiver in the game right now from a stats perspective?
Yeah, I mean, he's missed games and still leads the NFL in receiving touchdowns. I mean, right now, the gift and the curse is that our receivers will be the story of the season, all season, like all that stuff. But he's more than making up for it. It doesn't matter if he's double covered. It doesn't matter if he's facing number one corners. He has the benefit compared to Julio or Nuke to really be playing with the best quarterback of the three, right? Like Kyler Murray's going to be a star. He's not Aaron Rodgers. Matt Ryan is great. He's not Aaron Rodgers. And so when all three of those quarterbacks are clicking, Devontae still has the chance to outperform those guys because he has the best quarterback of them all. And maybe even Drew Brees was struggling. He looked really good with Michael Thomas and the whole team yesterday. But like, that's what puts Devontae above those guys in terms of production all the time is that his quarterback, especially this year, is playing like the MVP. He's on pace to have like 4,500 yards, 48 touchdowns, and like 4 interceptions. Yeah, I think he's at 24-2 right now, so 48-4, which is just disgusting. Hopefully, maybe when Lazard gets back, right, in week 2, I think it was 8 for 160 and 2 touchdowns. If he can even give like, dare I say, half of that, right? Like something to take a little bit off of Devontae. If Valdez-Scantling can be okay and be in the number 3 wide receiver in terms of producing like a good number 3 wide receiver, then maybe we can make it happen. It can't happen if Devontae's all by himself, though. But he's so good and so fun.
Good to know, because that man, we thought Michael Thomas hog targets.
Yeah. No.
That man good.
Yeah, he's so good. I mean, number 2 wide receiver, Scantling, I think, had 4 targets all game. And Lazard will take more of that, and I think he's due back in week 10. For the first time since his injury, he traveled with the team to an away game in week 9. He wasn't dressed or anything, but that seemed like a good sign of how he's feeling.
Yeah, he's off the IR, just not active, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What also hurts, speaking of Adams, was it Anthony? Was he a pick after me in our draft? Or
Not
was
sure.
it Eugene? Okay. It was somebody who was a pick after me, and they almost were biting on a draft trade. And I actually read people were having these same sentiments before the season started that Devontae Adams could lead the league in receptions, even with in their mind a healthy Michael Thomas. So I was like, I really see them as a 1A, 1B. So I was like, I wonder if I can get some draft capital to move one spot back and still get them. And that would have been a world changer to have Adams versus Michael Thomas this year and have draft capital to get that, but it didn't happen.
I'm happy you didn't do that because I wouldn't have had Chris Carson at number 4. So
There you go.
For not making that move.
There you go.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we gave you a little bit more love on the waiver wires than we normally do, but that's just how we roll in the Indecision Cave. When we join you later on in the week, we'll talk Coach of the Year, we'll talk matchups of the week, and we're going to have to weigh in on Lamar Jackson, as you know, because he hasn't done everything that was expected of him. Ashton, talk.
Are we still fading Mike Evans? My question for Wednesday.
Cool.
It's a lot to talk about. Hopefully you can join us later on this week, where we give you all the ins and outs, the goods, the bads of fantasy football within the Indecision Cave.
Let me get that win, E. Let me get it.